Hello, this is lesson 12.1 circumference, and what I need for you to do is I need you to split your paper into 4 sections and also have 2 other colors other than your pencil or pen to use. We're going to use blue for diameter and red for radius. So please have different colors. When you're ready to continue, press play. Please pause now. Okay, on the upper left side of your notes, I want you to copy what you see on your screen. Use 2 different colors. Here I used blue for diameter, red for radius. Pause the video to do so, and when you're ready to continue, press play. Please pause now. Okay, so the diameter of a circle is the line segment that goes from one point on a circle to the next point across, and it's cutting through the center. So I'm going to draw a dot in the middle here. So that dot in the middle represents the center of the circle. So a diameter is cutting through the center of the circle going all the way across. Now here I have the diameter is equal to twice the radius. So we'll talk about radius down here, but the formula to find the diameter, if you know what the radius is going to look like this. D equals 2 times R. Now the radius is the line segment starting from the center of the circle and going to any point on the circle. So the radius is going to be half the diameter. So here, from here to here is the radius. And then from here to here is another radius. So the radius is the diameter divided by 2. And in formula form, we would see it written like this. The radius equals d divided by 2. On the upper right side of your video notes, I want you to copy what you see on your screen using one color for one color for diameter. Here I used the diameter in blue, and then another color for the radius. Here I used radius, I put it in red. Pause the video, and when you're ready to continue, press play. Please pause now. Okay, so for problem number 1, it says find the radius, and here we're given the diameter, the distance all the way across the circle going through the center. The diameter is 13 meters. So to find the radius, we look over to this side here. The radius, we would use this formula, R equals D divided by 2. So start with the formula first, and then we know that the diameter is 13 meters. So for the second row, we're going to write R equals 13 divided by 2, and then our last step is to solve. So then we just do 13 divided by 2. So that gives us 6.5, and then this M stands for meters. And that is our answer. So we box our answer. All right, now let's look at problem 2. On problem 2, it says find the diameter. And so now this distance here, that's the radius. That's half of the diameter, okay? So to find the diameter, we're going to use this formula because that starts with the diameter equals 2r. So the first row is to write your formula, and then we know that the radius, which is r, is 7.6 meters. So for the second row, I'm going to write d equals 2 and then in parentheses 7.6. And then you solve this. You do 7.6 times 2. So then the diameter becomes 15.2, and then we label it meters again. So now we box our answer. Now on the lower left side of your notes, I want you to copy what you see on your screen. Pause the video to do so, and when you're ready to continue, press play. Please pause now. Okay, so in this section, we're going to talk about circumference. Circumference of a circle is the distance around a circle. It's also known as the circle's perimeter. So if I were to ask you for the circumference of this circle right here on number 3, I am asking for the distance all the way around this circle. Like if I were to take a tape measurement and measure it all the way around, this is the circumference. Now, these are the 2 formulas that we can use to find the circumference. And in each of the formulas, you'll see this symbol right here. It's a Greek letter, and it's pronounced pi, P-I. Now pi stands for a decimal, and that decimal is non-terminating, non-repeating, meaning it goes on forever, but we round it to 3.14. So this is how you spell pi. It doesn't have an E at the end. And this ratio comes from the circumference divided by the diameter. So what they found out is anytime you measure a circle all the way around, and then you measure the diameter all the way across, you will get about 3.14. So that's where this number comes from. So when I'm asking for you to find the circumference, you're going to use one of these two formulas. And if you know the diameter, then you can use this formula for the circumference. If you know the radius, then you use this formula. So looking at problem 3. On problem 3, we're given the distance all the way across, which is known as the diameter. So we're going to use this formula here. So always start with the formula. And now we know that the diameter is 2. So now underneath we're going to write C equals 3.14 times 2. Remember, this symbol pi always stands for 3.14. And now when we multiply 3.14 times 2, then the circumference is going to be 6.28 meters. And we label it M for meters. And that's our answer. Okay, so now looking at problem 4, now here in the picture, we know the radius of the circle. So that means we use this formula here. So start with the formula. C equals 2 pi r. And then the next step, fill in the numbers. Sorry, I had to write it really small. So it's going to be 2 times 3.14 times 11.5. So now our circumference is 72.22 meters, and then we box our answer. Before we continue with problem 5, I want you to write the movie clue to this video. The movie clue is going to be banana cream pie. Banana cream pie, I want you to write those words at the top of your paper next to the title of these notes. Okay, so now let's take a look at the bottom right corner of your video notes. I want you to copy what you see on the screen. Pause video to do so, and when you're ready to continue, press play. Please pause now. So for number 5, it says, find the radius of a circle with a circumference of 37.68 inches. So let's go ahead and underline first what we're looking for. The question is asking us to find the radius. And then we're going to circle what it is that we know. We know that it has a circumference of 37.68 inches. Okay, so we're going to start with our formula. We are going to use a circumference formula, but we're going to use the circumference formula that has the radius in there, okay, because that's what we're looking for. So we're going to write our formula first. Okay, so we are going to use C equals 2 pi r. And now what we're going to do is we're going to plug in all the numbers that we know. Since we know circumference, we'll be plugging that in, and we know what pi is, 3.14. So now we have this equation, 37.68 equals 2 times 3.14 times r. Okay, now we're trying to figure out what the radius is. So I want you to circle r, okay, and draw the line underneath. Actually, before we do that, we want to first simplify this, okay? So 2 times 3.14, we're going to simplify it to 6.28. Okay, so now we can circle the radius, okay, and draw our line underneath the equal sign. And to get r by itself, we divide both sides by 6.28. So now that we've divided both sides by 6.28, that'll cancel these two out, and then r is going to equal 6. So the radius is 6 inches. And then you box your answer. And that's all for your notes. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.